What's going on, everybody? I'm Josh with Combat Sports Today. I'm joined by a familiar face and a friend of the channel, Nico Echeverry. How's it going, my man?
It's going really well, Josh. Just getting ready for the fight, dieting hard, training hard. Bit of a last minute thing, but I'm excited regardless.
Yeah. And for the people who don't know, Nico took this fight at FuryFC 116, which is on February 20th, which just so happens to be the night before the UFC Houston card on just a week's notice. So I know you love short notice opportunities,
hmm
but how did this one actually come together?
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. I just somebody dropped out. I believe I I think it was it gentleman's opponent dropped out last minute. I don't know the reasoning why. And next thing I know, I saw a missed phone call from Eric Garcia, a text saying, "Hey, Nico, call me back." And then Drew telling me, "Hey, Nico, you have a fight." I was like, "Okay, I guess that's why Eric called me." So it's just, I was just told last minute. I really was like, when I found out about it, like, was like whenever I got that phone, whenever I missed the phone call from Eric. So it didn't take long for me to just decide I'm going to do this fight. Cause in March, I don't really have anything coming up. I want to get 3 fights in this year, and I told myself that was going to happen. And I don't want to wait till like after the first third after the first quarter. I want to get it done as soon as possible. And it fell right into my lap, and I just wanted to take it right as I could.
What kind of goes through your mind when, you get these, short notice opportunities to step in on somebody, even if it's not, even if it's a little longer than a week's notice?
Honestly, not. I say not a lot goes through my head. I don't get it misconstrued. I'm not all empty headed. But honestly, it's not a matter of like, oh gosh, am I prepared for this fight? Am I ready? I stay ready regardless. I'm in the gym 5 6 days a week, whether I'm coaching, training, or I'm just helping run things over there. I'm doing something every day over there. If not, like, if not, I'm there like maybe 2 or 3 times a day, just working and doing stuff. And I'm always staying in shape. I mean, shoot, I was at about 180 when they gave me the call. And I've made, whenever I fought Tedrick Macklin, he back in 2023, I believe, like that was on 2 weeks notice. And I was about the same weight that I am right now. And I even cut to 155 again. So this is, I'm not going to say it's child's play. I have no problem with it, but it's something that I'm familiar with, and it's something that I know I can do. And it's something that I'm confident in the fact that I'll be able to make weight without any issue. So I just told myself, Nico, you've done this multiple times before. Let's have another fun ride. So I just took it and just wanted to run with it.
That kind of ties into the next thing. I was kind of scrolling the Instagram and thing. I think it was on Drew's Instagram. It was a
Mhm.
post. I think the quote was, "You don't have to get in shape if you stay in shape." Hopefully, I
Mhm.
didn't get that one wrong.
Honestly, like that's an old adage from from so many people. So regardless of how you say it, it's about the intent. And honestly, it's true. I've like, regardless of how far, like I might take a week off from a fight after a fight happens, but I try to get right back to it as soon as possible. I've like essentially, I was like, I think right after my last fight, I had to wait till my stitches got out, and then I was back to work just right like the following week, because I don't like to be sedentary. I mean, sure, whenever I'm done training, I just want to sit back and relax and chill because I mean I'm tired. I mean, who isn't? But um, I don't like to just sit down and do nothing for a whole day unless it's justified. But I want to make sure that I'm constantly staying ready. I'm constantly making sure that it's not just staying in shape for myself, but it's also for my students and for my teammates. Because, I got people like Philippe Hocha, Damon Orande, Carlos Enrique. We got Cameron Smotherman coming in as well. We've had Sebastian, I see Bash, who's fought multiple times for Fury. We've got a lot of guys that are coming into our gym that are who have a really high who have a high pedigree in something, whether it be in striking, MMA, grappling, doesn't matter. And I constantly stay in the gym so that way, and I constantly stay training because I want to be there to not just push myself, but to push them to be better. If they can get over on me in a sparring round, then I know, okay, all right, then they're ready for this. So I make sure I want to be there to push. I want to be there to help improve. I want to be there. I want to be that bar that they reach for every time that they're training with me.
So, and is that kind of like a mindset you had to learn, or is that just something you've always had for even as, a young person starting in the game?
That's something that I feel like I've had to pick up as I've gone along. I was not very cognizant of it until maybe probably a year or 2 years ago. It wasn't anything big that happened. It's just something that happened over time. I've been I've been training since 2010, and I've been fighting since 2011. Technically 2010 because I had a smoker back then, but we'll just talk about amateur fights. But like I wasn't really focused on, oh, I got to be the bar for them, because back then when you first start out, you want to reach a bar. And I was constantly in competition with everybody in my gym to be above, because I wanted to be the best. I wanted to do that. And, as I've gotten older and I've gotten farther on my years as far as training goes, that's kind of shifted for me. I want to be the better man in the cage, but when it comes to being in the gym, I want to push my teammates to the edge, and I want to continue to be that bar, because since I've been coaching, that's been something that I've found is a passion for me. And seeing people improve, seeing people reach their goals, and being a part of that journey is something that I feel is probably one of the most rewarding things someone can, experience. Whether it be with coaching, and before that, I was a math tutor, and that something like that, like I think as it just kind of melds over to it, just seeing a person improve in something that maybe they're not trying to be a teacher or a mathematician who works like, constantly doing equations like crazy. But if you're just a high school student trying to pass pre-calculus, if you go from having like a 50 in the class to a 75, 80, or just passing, then I love seeing that look on their face. Like, Nico, I did this. I did. I was like, God dang it, you did. I'm so dang proud of you. So it's a beautiful feeling getting that, seeing them improve in one way or another.
Yeah, man, that has to be like a super rewarding feeling and it takes a special person to kind of want to truly see another person succeed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people say they want to see people succeed, but it's want to see succeed, but not be better than me kind of
Yes.
mentality as a lot of people,
Yeah, I agree.
fortunately.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I will be honest. My a few of my teammates can vouch for me when they say that whenever if I'm in fight mode, or like if it's time for hard sparring, then I want to get the win. But at the same time, like I'm actually really excited at, like, if I'm not in that kind of mode, when I see that they're improving so much to where I have to try really hard, or they've got me to tap, then I'm just like, holy smokes, they've gotten so much better. This is such a great feeling. This feels so good. Oh God. Now it also, that kind of fires things up in me as well to improve just that much more. So it's kind of a mutual thing for us. It's a symbiotic relationship in a way.
Yeah, that's great that you can have that relationship with, all the training partners and everybody. And, you being a veteran of the game and everything kind of ties into my next question and
Mhm.
topic. Your last few opponents have been, on the younger side, not only in
Mhm.
age, but, experience. But
Yeah.
Nate's a seasoned vet like yourself.
Yeah.
Does that kind of change what type of fight you expect?
I would say someone being a veteran, it doesn't necessarily change anything per se. I mean, one thing that you could say is that it does establish habits that they do. Someone like Nate has, I think, 24 fights, 24 professional fights. Myself, I have 24, 25. So we're right there as far as veterans go. So we both have established habits that, sure, we can change something here and there, but at the end of the day, like, it doesn't really matter the age or their experience. It's going to change regardless. So in an essence, yes, it has the way I'm going about preparing this fight is different than whenever I fought Dimitri and Hunter and even Devin, but it's changing not based on their experience, but the kind of fighter that they are.
And that makes sense because, like you said, there's, habits that have been formed and, you can kind of see that. And kind of tying into that, is there anything about this matchup that, really gets you fired up?
Honestly, the main thing about the matchup is that gets me fired up is the fact that it's short notice. I like the serial procrastinator that I am. I do my best work under a time crunch, and I love the fact that just I'm coming in here kind of blind. I'm not saying I don't know anything about him. I've been studying Nate for like the past like few days since I found out about the fight. Um, but I'm just excited for the fact that I get to go in there. There's no pressure on me to just, Nico, you've been doing this for 6 weeks. There hasn't been anything built up in my brain about anything. I'm going in there fresh. I'm going there with a fresh mind. I can just go in there and I can have a blast and just put everything I've been learning for the past 2 months since my last fight into practice. Some things I've been working on. I just meant the different mindset that I've been essentially not necessarily creating, but just improving on. So I'm really excited that the showing of improvement, getting to just not have that pressure of having to perform and just going out there having fun is what's got me fired up more than anything else. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. I am always excited for this.
Yeah, man, you can always kind of tell with your fights. Like I said, we were talking backstage. I was in attendance for your last fight. We kind of met afterwards. You're, one of the nicest guys in the game. Like, you always seem to be having fun. I think you could probably take, Wonder Boy's title for nicest mother effer in the game. Just saying. Personal experience with you.
Honestly, I will take that title. I'm a big fan of Wonder Boy, not just for the style, but just for the person. He just seems to be just a genuinely nice guy. But I will happily fight or have a compliment off with Wonder Boy if need be to get that title. But we'll leave it up to Dana. I'll talk to him after the fight on Friday and see what he thinks.
Yeah, I think we could definitely get something going with that. That'd be something I think most fans, everybody would tune in and watch. Like we talked about, and you just mentioned, Dana's, probably going to be in attendance because your fight's going to be the night before that UFC event.
Yep.
Does, having all those extra eyes in the building add any pressure to you, or is it, business as usual?
So it's not a pressure that's added to me. It mostly adds for me, it adds outside of the fight itself, it adds a childlike excitement. It's just like, oh my gosh, Dana White's going to be there. Oh my gosh, all these VIPs are going to be there. That's so cool. But then when it comes to the fight, like I'm not staying focused on who will be there. I'm being the only person who I care that's there. People really are the ref and my opponent. That's all that really is in my head. I don't think it's not going to add much pressure. To be honest, it's going to be, again, business as usual. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to pressure forward and I'm going to just make sure I keep a good guard and I'm going to just throw hands and have a blast. That's all the plan is for right now.
Yeah, man, it sounds. We cannot wait to watch that fight. Like I said, I wish I was being able to be in attendance for this one, but definitely be watching on UFC Fight Pass for sure.
Awesome.
I know you've been busy coaching. We talked about that as well. How did things go for the team at, I think it was Grappling Games?
It went great. Yes, I was so proud. We had 3 competitors, but 2 of them had been the first time I've been able to coach. One of them, Isaac, is one of our someone who's been with us for a while. He's 14 years old. Boy looks like he should be working in the coal mines because he looks like he's 35. He's just a big old kid. But he's probably one of the most controlled and just a very, very mature training partner. He doesn't play around. Like, I can talk with him and he knows when it comes to work, it's time to work. And when it comes to compete, he's ready to compete. He did such a good job listening and following directions. He's 14 years old and he went up to an age bracket from 17-year-old and he beat that 17-year-old who's a blue belt. So it was just, it filled my heart with joy just seeing him do so well. And I just got like that pumped feeling for him again. And I saw we had little Piper. She's brand new to the gym, but she's been training for about a year and a half I'm not thinking about a year and a half. And it was her first competition with us. And she was, the fact that she had such a good attitude the whole time just made me so happy. It was her first time doing a tournament as a gray and white belt, and it got me so happy just seeing her do so well and listen. And I, I just, it just, again, it made my heart swell up with joy. And again, we have Marcus, who's cool enough, is Isaac's dad, who got to compete the same day as his son. He got second place. And again, just things like that just are really beautiful to me, seeing a father and son bond over a shared passion and being able to compete on the same day. And just, I just don't have the words for it other than it makes me so dang happy.
That sounds like, a goal for, I think, most people that, are into combat sports or, jiu-jitsu or anything, is to, that do compete and train, is to share that with,
Mm-hmm.
their son or daughter,
Yeah.
whatever that may be.
Yeah. I
That's
agree.
totally awesome that you get to see that experience,
Oh
man.
yeah. Oh yeah. It really is. It's one thing to be there to support your son or to support your daughter, support your child. Be there from the sidelines to cheer them on, but being able to, participate in that and to share in that passion, it's a bond that it's very hard to surpass, because it's, there's the there it, it's a kind of a lame adage, but blood being thicker than water. They say that. I love the fact that with this, I've formed bonds with people in my gym and where I train at, and people that I've fought against and who I've trained at different gyms with. I've formed just such great bonds and friendships with them that I don't think I'd be able to put a price on it. If someone said, Nico, you got to tell me, I'll give you X amount of money if as long as you give up all the experiences you have from fighting and training. And a lot of money is a good thing, but at the same time, it feels priceless to me, and I don't think I'd be able to give that up. Especially, like, I don't think so. As far as long as I've been doing it, it'd be near impossible for me to give it up because of how connected I am to this as a culture, as a sport, and just as a community. It's something that is ingrained in me at this point in life.
Yeah, man, you can definitely tell you're somebody that, loves it, for the love of the game, for the love of the sport. So that's definitely something, there's no amount of money that, could, replace that, because it's such a big part of who you are. And like you said, it's a great community and being able to give back.
Mhm.
And I got a couple of things that just kind of outside of fighting. I don't want to keep you too long,
By all means, go
but
ahead.
what's more stressful, prepping for a fight or for a D&D session?
Okay, so two things. So something we got to keep in mind. If it's prepping for a fight, I have time to prepare for that, and it's over a period of time where I am like over. I have people to oversee me. I have my training partners to help push me. I can, there's no like putting it off to the last minute. It's a constant thing. D&D, on the other hand, for me, I put that stuff off till about 2 hours beforehand. So
Oh, wow.
it's I have notes written down, but I don't sit down and I don't be like, okay, it's time to prep for the session. And I have a blank canvas in front of me, and it's just, well, I guess it's time to take that's down a shot of espresso and let's get to work. And it's just, and 2 hours later, when it's time to go, my hair is looking like something out of looking like I'm Albert Einstein with my hair frazzled, and I have a weird twitch in my eye. Just, is everybody ready to go? Because I am. So I would say, as far as how the pressure I put on myself, I would say preparing for D&D, because I leave it to the last minute. But when it comes to the whole fighting thing, I think if I do have that nervousness, but not to the extent as I do for, I guess, Dungeons and Dragons.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I can kind of understand that, because there's like so much that kind of does go on behind, D&D, especially as, a DM of that. So, you got to keep, everybody happy as well. So I can understand. And being, as you claimed yourself to be, a serial procrastinator, not that's just insane that you get it all done though. That you manage.
I do my best. I definitely try my best, and it's like fighting. D&D has helped me with not just, oh, it's a fun game to play, but it's a way for me to connect with others. And I'm able to sit down for a couple hours with my friends and my brother, and I'm able to just talk and joke and just have a fun time with them. And that's as long as if they're enjoying it, if they're having fun, then to me, that's all that matters. Like that's the main thing that matters to me, as long as they are enjoying themselves.
What's like a food combination that people judge you for?
I remember this specifically. This was okay. So this was back in the day. My dad made this for me. My dad's from Colombia, and he was also the one that's got me into cooking. He gave me recipes for stuff. He's been like the main person I've gone to, be like, hey dad, can you try this dish? Tell me what you think it needs. He says, oh Nicolas, it tastes delicious, and I'm just like, okay, cool. But one of the things he showed me was a dish that is super simple, but I've gotten really, really where it looks for it. It is you take a carrot, make sure you peel it off first, shred it after you peel it. Like basically, I don't mean like cheese grater. I mean like microplane that thing. Just shred that thing.
Oh, wow.
And I want you would get like maybe a spoonful of sugar, put it on that, some lime, mix that up. Low calorie, really easy snack, fills you up a little bit. I've gotten really weird looks from it because it doesn't look that good. It does not. It looks like very wet shredded cheese. And I'm just like, oh no, it's not that. I swear. It's carrots, lime, and sugar. And it's like, Nico, it doesn't make it any better. It still looks gross. It's like, but it tastes fine. And that is the one food combination that gets everybody like, let's stay away from that. No, but outside of that, I think that I have decent food taste for the most part. But I say that, but anytime I eat, I'm usually inhaling before anything else. So I say I have good food taste, but I think it's because that I will eat any food that I taste. So I would say that that's probably I think that's probably the more accurate fact more than anything else.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm a slow eater. I mean, I can eat fast. I
Mhm.
did learn to eat fast, but I'm a savor the flavor type of guy, which my wife makes fun of because she's an inhaler as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it can get a little frustrating at times.
I can imagine. I blame high school lunchtime. Whenever people would come over and take your French fries from you and just or just mess with your food, it's something that is just ingrained in me. I just remember my brother saying that whenever he was younger, a girl that he was dating, and he's in his 30s now, but back in high school, a girl he was dating was talking to him, and apparently she got kind of mad at him. And during lunch, and my brother's a swimmer, so he trains in the morning and in the evening, so he was starving. She took his carton of milk and poured it all over his food, and it's just like, and that was something that it's just like it didn't. I didn't learn about this until I was older, but the fact that it happened is like, man, I guess that does justify me eating fast so nobody messes with my food, and that's why he eats really fast as well. So we should try to eat a little bit slower, but I should try a little bit better to savor the flavor as it is. But trauma is a SOB.
It is. It really is. Trauma can do and make lasting impacts on us.
Yes, exactly.
I know you're a huge Waffle House guy, so I got to ask, what's the most damage you've done there?
Oh man. Well, are we talking lawsuits or are we just talking plates of food?
I mean, just the biggest bill you've had
Oh,
there.
okay, good. Because I am under an NDA for those lawsuits. I can't really talk about those right
Oh,
now.
yeah. We can't be breaking any of those right now. Because I mean, you need to be trying to get that the Waffle House, sponsorship as well. So
Exactly. Thank you.
got to keep them happy.
Well, I would say right now the most damage I've done is I tend to be very I tend to keep things pretty mechanical with things. I keep things pretty with habit. I'm a creature of habit. It's gonna be the all-star. But I remember one time after I finished up with eating my hash browns and everything, I left my waffles, 2 full waffles for the last bit, and I made sure that they were both chocolate, peanut butter, smash those bad boys together for a Reese's waffle sandwich. Of course,
delicious.
Smothering that thing with smother that thing in syrup, and of course, me being me, and this was right after a fight. I cut that thing into quarters, and I don't think that I took more than 2 bites on each thing. It was just hot. basically like eating a very thick pizza, very, very sweet, thick pizza. And it was, oh man, I don't regret a single thing. My stomach regrets it. I don't regret it for a hot minute. It was delicious. Now, if you ask me to have that now, I will hesitate, but I might do it just because you said just ask me if I would. But doing it on my own, that's a hard sell. That's a really hard sell for me now, man. I'm not in my early 20s anymore where I can recover after a hard night of carb binging as I could before.
Yeah, true. I'm right there with you. I can't recover as fast from the binge eating of the unhealthiness.
Oh yeah.
Really takes a toll on the body now.
Oh gosh, I agree so much.
But
I totally agree.
I may have to try this one though. I mean, you made it sound really good. I may have to split it with my wife though, so I don't have to eat the whole thing. I don't think I can do that one.
It's well worth it. Just trust me. It's 100% worth it. Do it.
Like, I'm definitely going to have to convince her to do that one. And the last thing I have for you is if your life right now was kind of on a character sheet, what stats are maxed out right now?
That's a good one. Right now, okay. Now I'm not saying this for looks wise. I'm saying this because I've had to coach. I feel like I'm getting close to maxing out charisma. I feel like I'm getting there because one of the things that helps is being a kids coach. And I feel like, I'm able to really get their attention and I'm having to really work on raising that voice. Also, one of the things I've gotten really good at is messing with the kids, being like, hey, just saying, hey, do this. And if let's say they do it, I said, hey, whoa, what'd you just say to me? Coach Nico, I didn't say anything to you. No, there you go. I see that look on your face. I just constantly egg them on. And then they're just like, oh, Coach Nico, I swear. Hey, it's okay. I forgive you. And then I leave them not only scared, but I leave them confused. That's the biggest thing you got to do. So I'd probably say charisma based solely off of that. Outside of that, it's not strength and it's definitely not dexterity. I trip over myself more often than I care to say. But yeah, let's stick with just charisma for right now.
I mean, you do have to have a lot of charisma, like you said, to coach kids because they have like very short attention spans. I know as a kid I did, and like it seems it's getting worse with each generation since. So
oh yes. Yeah, it's true.
You definitely have the maxed out charisma to be able to keep the kids' attention.
Yes. I would like to think so. It's definitely with the age ranges there are from like 3 years old all the way to like 12, 13, 14. It's a lot. But man, it's one of those things that's 100% worth it. It's 100% worth it to me.
Yeah, man. And the last thing I do got for you is, do you got any like training partners, sponsors, loved ones, anybody you want to give a quick shout out to real quick before I let you go?
Yeah. First off, I want to thank Eric Garcia, Richard Burmaster, and everybody at Fury Fighting Championships for this opportunity and for the continued opportunities that they've been giving me since I've been an amateur. Since they were Cage Combat back in 2010. Like they've been good to me. They've been supportive of me, and they've pushed me to just be better. Of course, everybody at ACS, Drew Tychek, Mikey Patterson, Alvaro Hurtado, everybody there to push me and to teach me. And of course, training partners like Cameron Smotherman, Damon Orande, Carlos Enrique, and of course, my family, my mom, Tony, my dad, Jesus, Eric, my mom's husband, my brother, Andres, Connor, Bradley, just everybody, just so many people I would like to go down on a list of, but again, it's just, there's a lot, but I would say that they just those that support and who have pushed me to be better and to improve as a person and not just a fighter. I can't say enough, I can't say enough good things about y'all. So I would like to thank all of them for their help through the years.
Awesome, man. It sounds like you got like an incredible support system behind you, which is great to have, especially in the fight game that you pursue.
Yes, I agree.
We can't wait to tune in this Friday and watch you do your thing on February 20th on UFC Fight Pass, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Josh. Thank you so much for your time, brother. Thank you.
And thank you. You have a great rest of your Sunday. Like, subscribe, and comment who you want to see next on Combat Sports Today.